Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching, and all I can say is right now the heat is on. It's really warm, definitely humid, and also a little buggy out, so you might watch me swat away a few pests. But there's a lot going on here. So there's something I wanted to talk about called fear-mongering, which I'm sure many of all of you have already heard about. If not, well, guess what? About to give you a little insight into it, and also ask a simple question, primarily to voters on the right, is that what are you so afraid of? I say that because we've been mostly seeing these tactics from people on the right when running for elections, and just to be fair, I am going to give a lot of examples about them because they're recent, but politicians on the left have done it too, okay? This isn't just like a Republican problem, it's a political problem. And the thing is, I see a lot of people falling for it, and if you look at some of the recent history and when these tactics are being used, I get it, they work, but you got to ask yourself, one, is it a legitimate problem? Two, is the person really looking to solve it? And most importantly, can he solve it, or she, depending on who we're talking about, all right? And applying, just stopping and thinking and applying a little logic, you'll see a lot of it is just a bunch of BS. None of it's true, that you're flat out being lied to. I'll give you a certain example. Let's start with back in 2016, our favorite fascist president, Donald Trump, who was very animated back then. He was new, so naturally he was using a lot of fear tactics. Why? Because they work. I have to admit, you know, some people saw through it, but others didn't. Let's start with immigration, which is a common problem, which is still going on today, even under the Biden administration. Oh, the Mexico. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're bringing their worst. All these bad people are coming over, they're gonna do this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I'm the one person that can solve it. I'm gonna build you a big, beautiful wall, and it'll be perfect. And that'll stop the drugs, it'll stop the crime, yada, yada, yada. Guess what? It didn't stop anything. Okay? How did that wall come out? Did Mexico pay for it? No. Why? Because they had no intention of ever doing it, and Trump had no intention of holding them to it, okay? Just flat out lied to you. And what do we see? We saw a partial fence being built, that there are plenty of videos out there showing people able to easily climb this wall that couldn't be climbed, supposedly, or use just some basic tools to cut through it. A simple rope. All you had to do is go to the local grocery store and boom, there you go. You're able to immigrate into the US. Walls isn't the solution, neither is putting children in cages. That is just flat out cruel, it is bigotry, and it also left a stain on our country, which is going to take several years for that to go away. And if you're not somebody that cares about stuff like that, you think only because it's migrant children or refugees, then there's something seriously wrong with you. You shouldn't even be watching this video. But again, the whole fear tactic thing is, you know, using it to drum up support and get people to vote for you, thinking that they can truly solve the problem. Is immigration a problem? Yeah, it is. It's actually going up pretty significantly under the Biden administration in the past 2 years. And Biden did very little to undo some of the laws and things that Trump had put in place, which is unfortunate because that I think he could have made a much bigger impact on. And again, I'm just using that as an example. Here's another common fear tactic when it comes to refugees and migrants. They're coming to take away your jobs, your livelihood, everything, all in that. Not my job? No, anything but my job. And how's that been coming along? Well, in Florida, a particular governor, fascist Ron DeSantis, had set up a bunch of bills specifically targeting migrant workers and stuff. I don't know the exact details off the top of my head, but basically, like, if you're caught transporting a migrant, you know, you can be criminally charged and so on. And did that solve the problem? No, not really. I mean, well, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, because a bunch of refugees or migrant workers eventually fled the state to go to other states where it's safer. So, did that save those jobs? No, because now there is a huge labor shortage going on in Florida. You've got certain construction sites which aren't being completed on time because of the loss of workers, and a lot of the farms and plantations where, you know, you had migrant workers pulling crops and everything. That's also been seriously impacted in a negative way. Oh, but wait, to all you, hate groups, the white supremacists and the neos, who are all complaining about how much you hate migrants and everything and stuff. You want to take your country back. You don't want these migrants taking your jobs. Well, guess what? You got a bunch of jobs out there, plenty to choose from, to take. I don't see any of these people running up to occupy these jobs. I thought you were afraid of losing your job, losing your country. Well, as you can see, that was another lie too. Also a typical thing. We need to take our country back, all these migrants and everything. We need to take our country back. They're taking our country from us. Take your country back from who, okay? In the past few years, between Trump and Biden, a lot of livelihoods still stayed the same. It's not like somebody's out to take the country right out from under you. And yet, again, another fear tactic just to stir up bigotry and xenophobia, okay? Yeah, it works to get you to vote for them, but does it solve any problems? No, because for the most part, these people had no intention of solving any of the problems. Oh, January 6th, that's one of my favorite ones. And what was the fear tactic there? They stole the election, they rigged. I'll accept the election results if I win, but if I lose, I'm not going to accept it because clearly it was rigged. Because there are just some people out there who feel they are God's gift to Congress and that they can't possibly lose. And how many of you out there were foolish enough to buy into that lie? Plenty. And the worst part is, well, after January 6th, we had lives lost, including police officers. So much for the party of law and order. Did that change the results? No. Okay? Trump lost the election, fair and square. And Biden became the new president. Oh, he's not the president, all this other lies. And he still continues to push the lies. And the greater impact there, the bigger picture, is that it is given, lawmakers in other states, reason, or they feel they have justification to set up all sorts of voter suppression laws. To continue with redlining and gerrymandering, making it harder to vote. And that's all based on a lie. But again, it's all the fear thing, like, we need to defend our voter integrity, we need to defend this. We don't want our elections stolen anymore. There were no elections being stolen to begin with. Again, at times like that, that's where you need to stop and think. But some of you are so committed, so tribal, or in Trump's case, you're sucked into the cult, so anything he says, any lie he tells you, you're going to automatically believe. You're going to keep buying into that fear. Okay? Are you starting to see the pattern here? How this whole fear-mongering thing really doesn't work? Yeah, it works to get you to vote for them, to support for them, but does it solve any of the problems? And for the most part, the answer is no. You need more proof? Oh. Now, what we've seen lately going on, as far as the infamous term, which we've heard one too many times, is woke. Again, more fear. Before it started with the whole thing with drag shows and reading, and with the existence of transgender, which is nothing more than set up to, again, stir a lot of bigotry out there. Oh, we need to fight the woke this, we need to fight the woke that, they're coming from your children. Indoctrination, gender mutilation, they're trying to get your kids. You gotta do something, they've gone woke. Now there's this big fear of trans, which makes up a very small percentage of the population. As I said before, as far as gender-affirming care goes, should that be done accordingly by the parents? Yeah. Should anything intrusive be done, like sex change operations to children? No, it's not going on. And guess what? If it does go on, that's because the parents signed off on it. It's not like a little kid can go into a hospital and get a sex change operation. But again, that's where you need to start thinking and asking yourself, is this really a problem? And the answer is no. Transgenders have been around a while, so have gay, LGBTQs, so is drag reading. And there's also simple solutions or workarounds, for different parents. You don't want your child going to a drag show? You don't have to take it if you don't want to, okay? If your child feels they identify as trans, you can seek professional help. And maybe not do and you don't have to do anything intrusive. It could be just simple things like just seeking therapy and speech therapy, or just dressing to a certain gender you identify with. And here's the big kicker. They all claim it's all about the kids. That is a crock. Another lie. Why? because now they're taking gender affirming care away from adults as well. But wait, I thought it was just for the children. I thought they were out to get the kids. Well, guess what? You got duped. When in doubt, just call it woke. Same thing with LGBTQs, you know? You see books or anything like that, all this ridiculous book banning, which is fascist. Oh, but wait, you know, they're trying to indoctrinate your children and everything. So you get rid of all the LGBTQ books. When in doubt, just call them woke. And then DeSantis, he said, we once had this math book that was woke, but now we switched it back for another. Woke math? What does that even mean? What is woke math? I don't even know what that is. Yes, careful these morons, what woke is, they can't even give you a straight definition. Because it's not about facts, it's about lying to you to stoke up fear. That grocery store has gone woke, they're showing pride flags, they're trying to indoctrinate your children. Newsflash, if you go to Target or any other store and they've got a pride display on, you can go on to other displays that aren't pride related. You can buy your son or daughter a little shirt that doesn't have a rainbow on it. What's with all the banning books? It's not just about LGBTQs. They're banning books on race and stuff like that. Oh, CRT, you gotta be careful because it'll make all your white kids feel like they're racist. It'll make them feel bad. Oh, the fear of it. So now we want to get rid of black history altogether, you know? Have our watered down, custom tailored, where everything is white and everything is good. Don't look now, folks, but that in itself is indoctrination. It's also de-educating. And what better way to control people than to strip away their education, especially for future generations and stuff like that. More fear. And if you question it or this and that, hey, somebody like me, they'll just look at me and they'll say, I've gone woke. Don't listen to him. It's scary because he's going after your kids. Really? No, it's just, again, I just think and I see past all the BS. Do they really care about children? No, they don't. How do I know? Because in some instances, they voted against laws making it free lunches for children that are living in food insecure houses. But wait, I thought we were out to help the children. Let's talk about gun violence. When is a school shooting? Are they doing anything for the kids? Or gun reform? Or trying to make it so it's harder for school shootings to happen? Nope. Just thoughts and prayers, because they're all in the pocket of the NRA, and what better way than to use fair tactics in a case like that is they are coming to get your guns. Oh no, not my guns. They're going to go door to door and confiscate weapons and everything, this and that. You know, they're taking away your Second Amendment rights, but I thought we were protecting the children. More fear, more lies. There's never been a presidency where they started confiscating weapons. It's ridiculous. And yet you guys fall for it time and time again. I can't tell you who to vote for. Some of you who have bought into all this nonsense are going to keep buying into it. All I'm saying is ask yourself, like I said, one, is it a real problem? And is it a problem that can be solved through certain legislation? And secondly, the person that's whining about it the most, is he just really sincere about solving the problem? Can he solve the problem? Or is he just lying to you just to get you to vote for him and then in the end just do the exact opposite? Because like I said, I can keep going through more fear tactics from certain fascist leaders like Trump, DeSantis, and many more to choose from. And all it does is lead to laws that are designed to specifically target marginalized group. It is the spread of bigotry, and it's not patriotic. Nor are they looking to solve problems. If anything, they're looking to strip away rights. Look at the thing with the abortion. Oh, they're out to murder babies. They don't care about children. So we put out all these abortion bans with little or no limitations. Okay? Maybe it seems like a good idea on the surface, but it's taken away from women's health care, and it is statistically shown that women are now dying as a result of it. Because of high-risk pregnancies, mortality rates are higher, and children who are rape victims. Well, looks like they gotta carry a rapist baby. But wait, I thought you guys were looking out for the kids. Oh, I see. And for the children that do survive when they're born and are forced to live in poverty or from single parents, are they doing anything to help them? No. It's just, we prevented the abortion, we did our job. All is good, right? We care about the children. They don't care about squat. You just want to keep putting in restricting laws, you know, taking away human rights, and also, like I said, to spread their bigotry, because in the end, it's just about using fear as a tool to get you to vote for them. And once they're in, then that's when all the trouble starts. All I can say is, with elections moving forward, really stop and ask yourself, are they looking to solve a problem, or are they just trying to scare you? Which goes back to my final question, which I asked before, especially to the voters on the right, since most of you are buying into all this nonsense. What are you so afraid of? Really, what are you so afraid of? Because LGBTQs aren't the problem, neither are trans, neither are migrants, and there are ways to solve some of these issues. You know, to provide health care. Same thing with abortion. There are ways of prevention over inspection, which I talked about. Okay, as opposed to putting on strict laws which inadvertently endanger the lives of women. Okay? They're not solving problems. You need to really ask yourself, what are you so afraid of, and am I voting for the right people to solve what may or may not be an issue? Ask yourself that first before you jump to conclusion or do something foolish or end up voting for the wrong person, which in the end, in the long run, only creates more problem than solution. So anyway, I hope you understand. Thank you for watching.